this is Ilina and welcome to another LDRS creative card making video. Today I will be using the hand-tied Bouquet stamp set along with the older release stencil called Gingham check. So I have already pre-stamped a bunch of the images. We're just going to use the sunflower bouquet and I'll save the rest for future use. I like to stamp images bunch at a time and then save them to have them on hand whenever I need it or to color on the go. Next, I'm using alcohol base markers to color the bouquet. You can use any coloring medium of your choice. Just make sure that the ink that you use to stamp it, also the paper, are appropriate for the coloring medium you're using. So I'm kind of speeding up here. So you can see here I'm coloring it very quickly, and this is a little bit sped up. So you're not watching me for 20 minutes coloring this bouquet. So we're almost done coloring it here. I skipped a bunch of the footage because it's very simple coloring. I used 2 to 3 colors. So now I will be using the coordinating die to cut this image out. I'm positioning it over the paper as usual for die cutting, and then I'm using a little bit of tape to secure that in place. In case you have a die cutting machine with magnetic plate, you may skip the taping process. However, I don't even trust the magnetic plate. Sometimes my die would shift and then it will ruin all pre-colored image. Okay, so we have that element die cut. Next, I have piece of kind of tied pool color of cardstock. I thought that was appropriate, kind of fallish blue. I call it fall blue because it's not very bright. It's kind of more muted blue, but it's still kind of pool color. So next I'm adding the Tropical Sea hybrid ink. So I started with the second layer. So that stencil is marked as 2. Because I was using white ink, I decided first to do the second layer and then do the first layer. So next, since this is like more intricate, besides the magnets, I decided to add tape on the sides and I'm applying the white ink. So you'll notice that I did not stencil the entire panel. I'll be using just a strip from the panel for my finished card. So I'm just stenciling on that top part and then I can use the bottom of that cardstock. I used A2 panel, but you can start with a smaller one. I just did larger in case I make a mistake and then I'll just turn it around and do it on the other side. I think that looks pretty good. I'll just add a little bit more here on the bottom even though I did not really use that part. Okay, so we're done with the stenciling. Since I used pigment ink, I'm using my heat tool to dry that ink so we can keep working on our card. I'm adding heat on the back, so make sure that panel stays as straight as possible and it does not warp. Next, I'll trim it. So I'll trim a little piece off the top and then I did like 4 or 5 kind of lines from that checkered background. Next I have piece of black cardstock. I'll just trim out a strip and I'll add it underneath that blue layer. This will give us a nice kind of border, kind of separating, kind of giving more contrast to that white background from the blue panel. Next I added adhesive on the back and added the strip. I'm trimming off the excess and now we can adhere it to our top folding card base. I had a pre-made card base that I used 4 1/4 by 11 piece of white cardstock and I scored and folded at the 5.5 inch mark. Okay, so I have a little bit excess there and I'm using my scissors to trim that out so everything is nice and flush. I'm putting that card into my stamp positioning tool and I'm using the sentiment from the same stamp set that says Hugs and Kisses. And I'm using the Raven Hybrid ink. I apologize here, I'm a little off the camera, but we're just stamping the sentiment. So now we're almost done here. We just need to assemble and add some embellishment. I'm using foam tape to add on back on that sunflower bouquet to make that image pop a little bit and create a little bit of dimension. Just making sure that I have covered most of the image on the back. Here you can see me trimming that tape so I kind of fit in the little spots there. Removing the backing of the tape and we'll just add it to our card. Here you will see me, I'm turning it around to see how it looks good. I think like tilted to the left looked great to me. To finish off the card, I'm just adding some black enamel dots to make that a little bit more, again, a little bit more contrast and tie that black strip that we have in. So that's our card for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the LDRS Creative YouTube channel. And also please visit our blog for more ideas and more inspiration. Thank you. See you soon. Bye.